All right, I am live and I am working out how to use StreamYard and my handy dandy Stream Deck. Super cool. And that's going to give me some flexibility. I want to get some sound, some like different sound effects, clapping, all that. I love um, when I see creators use this Elgato Stream Deck. Don't know if you know it, but it is. I thought it was going to be bigger. It's the MK2 Stream Deck, and apparently you could do so all kind of things. So right now I've got my YouTube app in here, and I've got the StreamYard uh, app in here. I'm going to be able to add sound effects, all kinds of stuff like that on the screen, I guess. Right now, I'm using this Stream Deck. Hello, I'm using StreamYard, and first time ever using it. Signed up to it at one point, just kind of a free plan. And so I'm really getting used to it. I like this here. I like the like and subscribe button. It's KK 30-day career set. I like that. Oh, if you want to know, I've also got the DJI microphone. It's two. It's the DJI microphone mini. It's two of them. So we've got the cute little the little what do they call them, sound puffs, or a pop shield, that's what they're called, a pop shield. I usually use this on my phone where I can use this adapter to plug into the phone. Right now don't need to, but I am using this here. I don't know, can you see it? Anyways, there's a receiver with it too, so I'm using that. So what I'm doing is I've got KK's career advice channel. So it's 10 o'clock at night. I appreciate you being here. I really do. I love it. But I'm just testing this thing out. But I'm going to be coming live a lot of days during the week. I'm not committed on an actual day of the week yet. It's just going to depend. I want to make sure I get people in the room. So I'm kind of thinking around my lunchtime. I'm CST time, originally from London, but London accent will come through sometimes. But I am actually an American Brit. I've been over in London for 30 years until I moved here into Dallas, Texas, a year ago this month, actually. So anyways, this handy dandy Stream Deck. Now that's if you've been on a live stream before, and you've heard people on TikTok or something like that, and you've heard people like put in that sound. They'll have somebody clapping, they'll have like group laughter, things like that, sound effects. This is the best one you can get. It's the Elgato. And I'm not a techie person. I'm ADHD, so I can get very annoyed, but this is pretty cool, and it's easy to kind of put together. So I'm liking it. You just kind of you open the box up, comes in a little box. You open up the Stream Deck, and you're like looking at this thing like, okay, what do I do with it? Let me take my glasses off. I don't need them right now. And you're like, what do I do with it? And then what I've had to do is just go online, watch YouTube or whatever, just to get my head around, some new piece of gear. You don't know what you're doing with it. You need to get some support. But once you open it up on the right panel, you start dragging over website to be able to put the StreamYard. You have to do a couple of little steps, and once you get it kind of all together, which I'm putting up a kind of live streaming, what's it called? Kind of it must be metal because it's stuck. So this panel comes off. Let me see. You can take the panel off. See, I'm not feeling because that should click on. That shouldn't click off. That's like, don't make any sense. It's like, look how easy this is. Let me put this on me here. I do like this DJI mic because you can clip it on there or what have you. But look at this. It pops out, and that's where the plug-in unit belongs. I don't know how. Thanks for joining me. You plug in the Stream Deck. You plug the plug into the Stream Deck, then you put that into that little socket in your computer. I have a Mac that I'm streaming out of right now, and so this is kind of trying to create more of a professional experience for myself and for people. So I like how you can in StreamYard right now. I have the free one. If you're curious, that's why you see the StreamYard image up here on the screen in the right. It's my right. It's the free account. I didn't want to buy anything else. I didn't want to like start paying another monthly service. I want to see how the darn thing works for me. I like it so far. It's running through my Stream Deck. Stream Deck, what's going to come in handy about the Stream Deck is I'll be able to, so I've added YouTube and I've added StreamYard, and then I'll be able to add in one of these tiles, I'll be able to add some sound effects. I'm going to download some sound effects tonight from one of these free platforms, download that, and then I will have to figure out, I think it might have to be a URL or some kind of simple download. If you know, let me know. If you find out, you can always let me know. I hope there, I know there's a chat section. There's a chat, We're gonna figure this out. We are gonna figure this out, y'all. We do not know. Comments, okay, there's a comment. But since you're in the room, I don't know if you're cooking or anything like that. If you could say hello to me, and then I will see how that works. If you don't mind doing that, even just if you gave me an emoji of your phone on your phone, then I could at least see how that works. That will really help me if you would do that. I love that. But nevertheless, you just came here to sit in here with me as I kind of figure this out, and I appreciate you doing that. Anyway, so I'll be able to control sound effects and things like that. And I want to do that because my content really is a space where you can come and really kind of come here and learn about what's going on in your brain, what's going on with you. Like, FX Wealth, it's synergy. Wonderful. I like the wealth thing. I want to know what that's all about. Hello, yes, cooking. Fantastic. Is that Forex or wealth synergy? I'd be interested to know. Drop me a yeah, thanks again. I see you there. I appreciate it so much. Because this is the thing, when you are just working something out, you got to do these tests. And it's like, you can't just be like, okay, let's do it. All right. What are you cooking for dinner, by the way? I have my leftovers. I had a salad that I got from some salad place, and then sweet potato fries from another shop across the road from it, downtown Dallas. So that was good. And it's like 10 o'clock here. What are you on the West Coast? Are you just having dinner? Dinner. If you could just tell me, I'm moving my. It was supposed to be years ago. Haven't changed the name yet. Oh, okay, right, okay. It's all good, right? I went through so many iterations on my YouTube channel over the years. I've probably been on here. Geez, I don't even know how many years. 10 years, 12 years, but only recently been doing the career content. So, because that's what I do, I'm an executive coach and a psychologist, as coaching psychologist, and I do that in the daytime for a coaching firm. So I do that thing 5 days a week. So noodles and toast, okay, high carbohydrate. I love it. Noodles and toast forever. You're gonna have jam on that toast, or you're gonna have butter on that toast. So we putting some garlic pepper, garlic salt, or garlic seasoning, lemon seasoning. Have you had the garlic zesty seasoning? So you got to at least hook it up. Let's hook it up, darling. Hook it up. Make it tasty for yourself, right? Whatever it takes. I tell you, if you went into my fridge right now, you'd be like, dang, shoot, butter and garlic. That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. Don't play. Make it tasty, right? Add some hot sauce to those noodles. And now we're rocking, right? We are rocking doing that. Cool. Wonderful. That's wonderful. What part of the country are you in? Are you here in the US? I was going to say UK because I've lived there so many years, and I do miss it. Miss London, but today I was looking at trips back home. I call it home because I lived there so long, and my daughter, she's there. She's 21 and she's in university out there. Well, she's born and raised, so she just visited me about 5 weeks ago. 5-6 weeks ago. So I'll go out. I really don't want to go out in December, January. My God, if you've never been, it gets really ice cold. Like your hands are really, really icy. Oh, the Florida Panhandle. I have a friend in Miami. Yeah, okay. That's down there at that bottom, I guess, the Panhandle. Was never good at geography, even though I love to travel and been to a lot of places. But this is fantastic. You're the only one in the room. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Oh my God. No, you're from New York City. Okay. Right. I was there in February. I was is it Lower East Side? I was at Lower East Side where what's it? That iconic place. Anyways, I was there. Fantastic city. I absolutely love New York. If I could live in New York, I would live New York, London, and I'd probably live where I'd want to see what else there is. I love London, New York because you can just get on the train and you can go, you know? And so that is, I think what draws me there. And one of my good girlfriends who lives in Miami, she loves Dubai. So I'd probably want a place in Dubai. This is me just dreaming with you. Okay. Let's travel. Let's go. Let's get on a plane and go. Yeah. So anyways, I got this thing. I am looking forward to using this, to setting up the sound effects, because once I set up my sound effects, either tonight, see, I got ADHD. So for me, it's like I get super excited, super hyped, and I'm feeling like that right now. I'm feeling like that right now. How's my sound? Florida's too hot. I miss the cold. Dubai sounds amazing. Dubai is amazing, but not in the spring because it is hot as literally. If 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 hell is real, then it's hell. It's hell on earth. Years ago, and I'm talking about 15 years ago, me and my daughter went to visit some friends out there, and it was April because her birthday's in April. And we were there, and I'm telling you, you can't go out in the daytime. So culturally, people kind of hang out in the night and then they go to the mall. Now, this has been years ago. I forgot the name of that mall, but maybe you've seen some pictures where the fountains are going out and it's around there. Is it there? Yeah. And inside the mall, they have like a ski like it's like a ski resort inside of this mall. And I'm talking about, you look, and we were in a restaurant and it's like really high, high up, and people were skiing down this thing like they were somewhere in I don't know, wherever it snows, like I don't know, like Montana. Does it snow in Montana? But you know, I don't know. I know Europe. Ask about Europe. So the Swiss Alps. It was like someone in the Swiss Alps skiing. So, anyways, amazing place. I can't wait to go back because the architecture continues to change, and I'm a big architecture fan. I live in a high rise because I like building like that much. Because my stepdad was R.I.P. He passed away at the end of March, but. Yeah, so let me show you, if you are thinking about using this deck, or if anybody watches this another time. This Stream Deck is supposed to be amazing. I've only heard them, you know what I mean? I've only heard people using them, but I love it when they have the canned laughter, when they have sound effects, noises, things like this. This is in so many different languages. Download and install. It was, to be honest, it's quite easy. Just have some little, plug something in. What is it? You connect directly to USB port on your PC or Mac. It wasn't quite like, it wasn't like your standard USB port. It's that other one. I think it's like a C something. Do you know what I'm talking about? Anyways, you put that into the computer, and then it says launch the app to customize Stream Deck. And then it says drag actions from the right panel and drop them onto your desired keys on the left. Now, see, that's the bit, my friend. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That was hard. That was really hard. That was on March 31st. And we didn't really get a chance to kind of clear the air about a lot of things that had, not been right growing up. But and then he had a horrible wife he married, but God bless her. It was good for me because it made me it gave me closure to the past, talking about that. So USC, yeah, probably. I think that's what that is. And but talking about that kind of closure thing. So just so you're here, in case you see me one day and you want to come and you're like, oh, KK is going live. I talk about a lot of kind of clearing out to grow, yeah, clearing out to grow. I was saying to a client yesterday, I was like, when you really want to transform your life, it takes total compliance. And what I mean about that, I'm going to call you Florida. Okay. Unless you give me your name, that's okay. But what I'm talking about is that, see, when you make a decision to change your life, right? Say you're going to have, you're determined to have more money, for example, right? You're determined to have more money. Well, it's going to be more than just sitting down and meditating or praying or anything that just, there's no action. You've got to sit and you've got to change your mindset. Synergy is fine. I love it. I will call you. Thank you. You've got to determine where it is that you're lacking that, say you want to have money, where you're lacking that knowledge around it, right? Where's the lack here? Because if I'm lacking knowledge in a certain area, how can I be specific about what I'm really trying to achieve? It's going to be vague. And the brain doesn't do well with vague. It really doesn't. The brain, the mind, it doesn't do well with vague. It likes concrete. That's why if you've got a habit of doing something and you always do that thing, the brain is pretty certain it's got concrete behavioral responses to a trigger, for example. So it knows what to do for you. It knows to lead you to the right with that thing, or lead you to the left, or cause you to respond in a way. Say if we're talking about the desire for money, right? You want to change your money situation. Well, find out where the lack of money understanding is, right? And then when we have that, then we say, you know what? I'm going to save $5 a day. I'm just choosing numbers, random here, Synergy, right? I'm going to save $5 a day because maybe you notice there's a lot of leaks in your wallet, right? You're just spending. So instead, I'm going to save $5 a day. It's concrete, right? The brain knows when it opens the wallet or it sees the app or something, I'm going to save $5. So you're more likely to do that action toward that thing that you're wanting to achieve, right? But it has to be concrete. And then you must do those activities. You must, if you're doing it via an app, switching money from your account into your savers account every day, you do that thing. You create a habit of that thing. It's concrete. It's a decision. It's intentional, right? How do we get on this subject? Nevertheless, that's what it was. It was compliance. So we have to comply to the decisions that we want to, the transformation that we want to make. There's no way around it. I wish when I was younger, I would have had a psychologist and an executive coach to say, hey, you want to change these behaviors, you've got to do this. A lot of times people say they want to save money, but they're not willing, or they want to have a lot of money, but they're not willing to make the changes required. That's even knowledge seeking. Say if you don't have $5 a day, I still need to seek knowledge to figure out how to do it. There's this woman, her name is Arlan Hamilton, Arlan Hamilton. She has a YouTube channel that's doing really well. I don't know if she's got 100,000 followers yet, but she's definitely doing well. And she is a venture capitalist. So she raises money for businesses she believes that one day will be profitable, right? And so she gets, successful people, wealthy people to invest in these companies. But I think 5 years ago, she was literally homeless, sleeping in bathrooms in the airport. And then her and her mom, I think, were sleeping in cars. So she's a sister. I think she might be 40. Maybe she's 40. Light-skinned sister and heavy-set woman. If you see, I put the name in your mind. So please remember her name, Arlen Hamilton. But she's amazing. And what she did was she decided that she was going to be a venture capitalist. She was determined. Oh, you've seen her. Oh, wait, let me put glasses on. I was sent to your live for this reason, this topic. Oh, wonderful. So Arlen was homeless, but she tells the story. She would be reading everything she could find on how to become a venture capitalist, what it took, all of the stuff. See, I love these. I call this synergy. I call this synergy. You just made me think about that. The one person that's here, you, and then someone just joined us, but the synergy that's in this test. And here we are talking about Arlen Hamilton. So Arlen shared the story. She had nothing. And I think she got some tickets to do something, and she got an opportunity to talk to some people, and she asked them what they'd invest in this fund that she had. And imagine that you're homeless and you put spruce yourself up enough, but you have such intention, such belief inside of herself, inside of her mind. She is a venture capitalist. That's how she viewed herself. And she said, like me, I say, total compliance is necessary for your transformation. Her total compliance was, I am that thing, so therefore I'm going to do the activities to that thing. She didn't have $5 to invest in her own fund. She didn't have it, but she knew what she believed about herself, and she knew what she is capable of. And this woman is making, I don't know if it's $100,000 to $300,000 from her communities that she's building. I joined one of her communities, and it was $100 a month. Hey, don't get twisted. I got $1 in university back in the UK, so my money converts into the pounds. So I'm losing dollars, but so be it. That's my job, right? As a parent, I'm happy, and I'm thank the Lord that I'm in position to be able to do that. But back to her, she did not have that money, right? Me, and so I was spending that $100 a month, and I was learning, and then I decided I'm gonna now take that $100 and do something else with it, right? I learned as much as I could at that time. What I realized, Synergy, was that I was just kind of stuck in this idea that it had to be big. My side hustle outside of work's got to be big in order for me to do that thing, right? To reach more people. I want to reach thousands of people. And if you follow me today, I'll have 2,200 people. That would be amazing. And I appreciate that. But it's like, now I'm like, you know what? What do I do best? I don't have 100,000 subscribers. I don't have 10,000 subscribers. I don't have 5,000 subscribers yet, right? But I got to do that thing towards that thing that I see myself, just like Arlen. That woman is balling out now, and her channel is so valuable, and she gives all that free value. And to me, this is what it's like when you're on YouTube. You in the early days, like me, you're not making any money. There's no money coming, because you got to get those 4,000 viewing hours, and you've got to get the 1,000 subscribers. So I've crossed over that first threshold. Now I've got to hit those numbers, and I've decided the way to hit those numbers is to go live. Because if I can get you guys on here, I can get you guys watching and hanging out with me for a good while, and then get replays, bring enough value. See, that's what Arlen does. She brings enough value, to us. She feeds us so much value. You go and listen to her content, watch her content, and you're getting so much value that you cannot help but sit and binge watch her content. And it's like, if I want to reach the goals that I say I want to reach, it requires total compliance. total compliance to my mind. I must get my mind in order. I must defeat and I must conquer that negative self-talk, which is usually down in the unconscious from your childhood experience. If you're joining, I am an executive coach and a psychologist, and I'm not a clinical psychologist, but I studied psychoanalysis, and my education is from the UK, out of the UK, from where I've lived the last 30 years. Nevertheless, we must understand that synergy. It's a challenge. It is the biggest challenge to break out of cycles. That's, people will call them generational curses. I don't call them curses. I call them generational behavioral loops. You see your parents do, we see our parents do it. And then we do that thing that they do. And then our children do that thing that we did. And our grandchildren will do that thing that they did, right? So that is not a curse. That is a generational behavioral loop that is stored in the unconscious. And so you are unconsciously doing what your parents did, and so on and so on and so on. Yeah, and now if it's a bad thing and if it's a negative thing, I know as someone who does believe in God and some creator above myself, right? Then I know that there's a darkness, and it's almost, for me, I see it as the darkness being, my cat is meowing. I see it as the blinders are on your eyes. Understand, right? That if you want to call it a curse, it's the blindness, right? The lack of financial literacy is, hello, buddy, the little cat. The blindness from financial literacy is because your parents were blind and their parents were blind and their parents were blind. They had the blinders on. They were probably only stuck in the survival mode. I spent a lot of years in survival mode. I did. I was divorced 19 years ago, separated and divorced 18 years ago. My daughter was 2. And all I kept thinking about was the habits I'd had before that, is just keep the lights on, keep the gas on, pay the council tax, pay the bills, make sure I'm doing that. Right? I love cats. Aw, thank you, Synergy. Love you too for being here. And whoever's joining me, I appreciate you being here. I'm testing out behind the scenes of my live stream prep, but me and Synergy started vibing and stuff. So we're just talking about, you get stuck in behavioral loops. And what I want to bring to people here on this channel, and I want to build a community of people who get out of cycles, get out of toxic work environments, heal from the negativity in these spaces. There's so much. You would be shocked. I coach people 5 days a week for a coaching firm. So they fill my diary. That's the firm I work for, right? The amount of people in toxic work environments, it's madness. It's as though there's just so much manipulation, and people, most people are inherently good. They really are. But then all it takes is these bad managers, these really toxic, narcissistic, self-absorbed, mean people, right? And they will ruin people's day, ruin people's lives, ruin people's career. And I'm here to talk about it and be an ear from a professional perspective, where I can come with knowledge of to what's really doing, so I can build your confidence back up. I wrote a book. This cat, by the way, is very chatty. He is part Siamese, so he talks a lot. So he's talking to me because he wants me to cuddle him. It's funny. But I wrote a book called Unleashing Brilliance, a Roadmap to Confidence for Black Professionals. It's on Amazon. And my name is KK Harris, Harris. But anyways, I wrote that because a lot of people, and particularly diverse professionals, I started noticing this theme around confidence, and the kind of the confidence being but being eroded by these toxic, narcissistic people. That's why if you come on my channel, you'll see that I talk a lot about narcissism and toxic people. But I also realized, I just turned. Will you do me a favor, Synergy? Will you tell me if? See, I just turned the air conditioning on. Can you hear it? So I've got this mic, and it's supposed to be a noise canceling mic. If anybody wants to know, again, it's the DJI mic. It's super cute. DJI mic mini, and super cute. It has like two. You get two microphones and the transmitter. Anyways, not that I have a thing on this. But anyways, can you hear the air conditioning? That would be good for me to know since I'm kind of testing out this whole setup right now. But anyways, I noticed this theme of people just losing their confidence in toxic environments. Now, this is not limited to diverse people. This is just period, and the more and more I dive into it, the more I coach a lot of people. I coach white, Black, Indian, African, Chinese, Japanese. Did I say Korean? Whites. I coach everyone. So there is a theme of toxicity in organizations. There is a theme in it, and it's ugly, and we must learn survival skills, because once toxic people realize that you are weak, they will exploit you. If you have any tendencies around, I hear it, you said you hear it, but let me see, but it's low, like small wind. Okay, so that's good, because I am hot, hunty. Out here in Dallas, it's like in my apartment is 83 degrees, so I have to turn it on. Gave up, and it's muggy. But anyways, they will exploit. Toxic people exploit hardworking people. Don't get it twisted. They always exploit the hard workers. They exploit the hard workers because hard workers will generally have this work ethic where, and the work ethic might come from some psychological stuff, and I'm gonna have content on that, and you'll be hearing in the lives more around where I break things down psychologically for people to really understand why do you get manipulated, and if you're not being manipulated, thank God for that. But you hear stories, and they choose certain types of people, and that's the truth of the matter. Hardworking people with really good ideas, they will do the same thing a narcissist would do. A lot love bomb someone. They do the same thing in organizations. It's the same type of love bombing, making you think you're amazing and you're so special and this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, it's a setup. It's a setup for them to see how far they can push you to kind of do more and more and more. And this stuff is coming out. It's coming out. I read something today about, what is it called? Quiet cracking. I think it's called quiet cracking. And I wrote an article on LinkedIn about just a little bit about that. And it's when people are just kind of like having mental health issues, and they're just kind of cracking under the pressure, but no one knows it. And they're just not able to do as much as they really want to do. But I know I'm kind of going a lot of different places. As you can see, I love what I do, and this is one of the reasons, and I feel like it's God put this on my heart to, come at this in a totally different way. I love, this is what I do, right? I speak to people and I help them. So I'm like, well, I don't get to help as many people. What, on a particularly busy day, I see 5 to sometimes 7 people a day. And you would add that up by 5, 35 people a week. That's not reaching the kind of numbers that I know that God would prefer me to reach. And I'm thankful that he uses me in the way that he does. But I know that there's more in me, and that's why I'm on YouTube, and so the live is going to help me, help people navigate in these systems where toxic behavior is allowed to carry on, and they become toxic. People create toxic organizations, right? And there's nothing like a narcissist to have some power at a job. There's nothing like it. Let me put my glasses on. I knew I was. You say I shared this out. Oh, bless you. Headlines. Hey, my sister. He said, I knew I was sent here for a reason. I need this information. Well, God bless you. God bless you. Sis, this is my first. I'm sharing, as you can see, it says behind the scenes, KK's live stream at Prep. My sister, she has a really fantastic channel, Headlines with the Voice, brings some up-to-date headline news and everything. I need to start going back on there and seeing what you're doing. I hope you're okay. We need to catch up. We need a virtual hug. We're long overdue for that. But so I was just saying, in these toxic environments, people that are good folks get used and abused. And this is a way for me to share solutions. And these days, it's easy to see if you go on TikTok and very quickly you'll just get these sound bites of, oh, you need to look for another job, oh, blah blah blah. Not everybody can look for another job. No, life isn't like that easy. Oh, get you another job. Please, yeah, really. How fast are you going to be able to do that? I just gave free coaching to a woman I met on the elevator in my apartment. God bless her. Andrea White, wonderful lady. And she was working, doing deliveries for Walmart. And she would not mind me sharing this story. She was doing deliveries for Walmart. She's in the lift, the elevator. And I said, oh, you look nice today. She just had on like a little halter dress, just look nice. And she says, oh, thank you. And we got to talking and I said, oh, I thought she might've lived in the building. She said, oh, no, I'm doing Walmart delivery. I was like, oh, okay. She goes, yeah. She said, girl, age, right? I was having to put the glasses on. Not so easy to do these days. Exactly. So she says she worked she was delivering for Walmart. And then I said, oh, okay. How's that going? It's hot out there, blah, blah, blah. Then here's a God moment. We're stuck on the lift. The lift's just not moving. And it never happens like this. We get to level 5 and the door opens up, it closes. So we kind of keep talking. Well, it turns out she got her undergrad degree and two different masters. A talented, educated Black woman could not get a job since, I think she said it was November last year. Financially, just everything fell apart. She was helping her daughter and her grandson, could not find a job. So when I hear these people who say, prepare yourself for another job, do this, do that, you are just out here for likes. You're out here for likes. You're not giving any real grounded knowledge of what's going on. And it's just, I find it irritating. I really do, because I think people are so caught up in the likes that they don't really care about the power of their words. They don't really care that they could be influencing people to leave their job. My thing is, I want to help you hold on to your job, but navigate these toxic environments and learn to protect yourself and not rise to the toxicity, not let it dominate your mind and your head. And if you need to get out of that job into a totally different, we can work on that too. I'll be doing lives on LinkedIn Prep on proper use of how you can utilize ChatGPT. A lot of people tell them, oh, just use ChatGPT. When it first came out, I said, use ChatGPT. And then I realized now we've got a bunch of generic resumes going out, and people are wondering why they can't get hired. You're not doing things right. You want to have a career coach. I've got 6,000 to 7,000 hours of coaching at this company that I work for. They gave me the amount of coaching hours I have. It's one-to-ones and group coaching. 4,000 now, 4,512. That was 2.5 months ago, something like that. That number's increased. That's at one company. That's in one company. And what that means is like a good surgeon. A good surgeon must have lots of must have lots of surgical hours under their belt. They have to before you're gonna cut me open. Oh no, no, I've had some kind of graduate cut me before, and I had an indentation in my belly, and had to get that fixed. I mean, it was noticeable, and I was very young, you know. I love all that, sis. You know, but it's like there's a lot of people giving fake information with little knowledge, and they've not they'll talk about they're a corporate coach or a corporate something, and they're 27 years old. Get out of here. You know, in the coaching world, you won't even get hired in these spaces without the credentials, without if you get in like I did. I tell you, I was blessed, but I'd studied psychoanalysis. That's what had helped me get into a corporate coaching firm, but they won't even see you. I was looking to see if there were other coaching firms that were hiring, and it said you must have had 5 to 10 years experience as an executive yourself, mid-level to senior level executive. Like, it's no joke, you know? And to be, in truth be told, I, in hindsight, right? The many years now that I've been doing in the corporate space since 2016 in the corporate space, since having those years, then getting a master's in 2019, where I started the master's program, and then an academic coaching qualification. I know I was blessed. I know I was blessed to get the job. That was a God setup, y'all. Because I tell you, the little knowledge I had back then, I am so thankful that I decided to go ahead and pursue education, because we are playing with people's lives. You know, now I'm not mad at a person who calls themselves a divorce coach or something like that. But when it comes to career, when it comes to real things, like you're trying to help somebody negotiate a higher salary, well, you better understand, you better be able to talk the talk. You better help them be confident in order to do so, and understand why one can make that decision. Right? You just can't be coming at, no, you can't. No, you're playing with people's lives. You know, you're playing with people's lives. I hear these people give people advice. Oh, just say this. Do you think these narcissists aren't watching? The narcissists are watching too. I've said it before. Document everything that person has said, that narcissist has said. Document everything. Okay, and what? Do you think they don't know you're creating a little file when you start emailing, hey, just to confirm the meeting we had today, blah, blah, blah? You think they don't know the paper trail trap? They're not dumb. Like, just stop. Just people, just be quiet. They want that like, and they want that money. They really, really do. And I'm not mad at them. Go get your paper. But like, my goodness, you know what I mean? It's like, can we have a little bit of integrity? What is that? Is that purple thing? Oh, I love the little hearts. Yeah, I love the little curious hearts. There we go. Turn on the light. Turn on the light. There we go. Right. But, you know, I'm like, you know what? Let me come in the daytime. I'll probably do it on my lunch break, maybe 45-minute sessions. See how that goes. And then right after I get off work, see how that goes. You know, I'm going to be just trying out what works to see when I can get people in on a session. The other day I did a kind of run through without the StreamYard. My sister uses StreamYard. I think you still using StreamYard. Finally, look at me, finally. But I did a live there, and there were I think 58 people who had come through. And then since it's been published, I put a thumbnail on it, and it's called Overthinking, and just really broke down, you know, the psychological elements of thank you, sis, and I see your laughter, Synergy, the psychological reasons to why we overthink. I want to be doing something around procrastination, because I've been learning a bit more, going a little bit more deeply why we do the things, right? Deeply why we get stuck in patterns, like the poverty pattern, right? Or my pattern was just pay the bills. As long as the lights, gas, all of those things were paid every month, then I was surviving, right? Now I'm working on thriving, right? Just thriving. And it's like, and it requires that total compliance. It requires me to not shop and buy something on Amazon just because I'm bored, or I'm having an ADHD moment and I got to do something and I'm spending money. It's like, no, 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 you have enough clothes in your closet. And I say to myself, I did something with someone. They said, oh, you're not going to get anything else. And I said, no, I can only wear one piece at a time. And that's kind of, it's like, you'll see me in this dress today. You're probably going to see me in this dress 5 or 10 times. You're going to probably see me, if you go to my videos, you'll see me in this dress. I've had this dress for some months now. There's nothing wrong with this dress, but we get caught up. We get caught up instead of saying, okay, that's $30 or $40 I can hold back, or $40 I can put into my Robinhood account, or whatever you're trying to, you're just trying to learn, just trying to make better decisions. It's never too late to change. It just requires total compliance. And I'm not saying that lightly. It requires it, because we're talking about behavioral loops, behavioral patterns that we have been stuck in for years. And if we learned it from our primary carers, mother, father, grandma, grandpa, whoever, auntie, uncle, whoever, that became a blueprint for us and how we show up. You see? So a lot of the time, you can't look and beat yourself up if you've been making mistakes, and you've been making mistakes for years. You can't. What you can do is say, going forward, I will do what I need to do in order to transform into that individual that I see myself as being. And it may require you to sit on your floor and cry and shed tears. And I kid you not, I have done it and continue to push myself out of my comfort zone. I can sit on TikTok and just scroll. Yes, indeed. And then and before you know it, I've done 90 minutes, and that was 90 minutes I could have put into myself. I could have put into my business. So, YouTube is my business, trying to build this thing up. My sister knows I've been trying to do this thing for years. I've just not been as consistent as I have been this year, right? She can attest to that. She has tried to push me along, but get caught up, get distracted, So whatever it is, we all fall short, don't we? Nobody's perfect. And they're a liar if they say they are. They're a liar if they say it all together. I just read, oh my gosh, what's it called? It's a Black woman, and somebody's nephew. It's a whiskey called Somebody's Nephew. Isn't it? Do you know it, sis? Synergy? Anyways, it's a whiskey, and she named it after the person who actually created, I think, this particular whiskey. Just read today that she's gone. It's gone into receivership. She has $108 million in that she owes creditors. I was sad for her, and I thought, I could not help but think about what I was just saying a while ago, Synergy, just about that kind of money. Some would call it a curse. I call it a generational behavioral loop. And I wondered what her childhood was like around money, right? Why is she in this situation, right? Who did she trust that she should not have trusted? Let me see. She owns the company. Yeah, I heard of her. Right. In your defense, you keep very busy. I keep very busy, but girl, me and TikTok, don't lie. I'm not gonna lie. I be doing too much. It's like I just need to pull it in. But Ray's nephew, I think it's called. $108 million that they're saying it's receivership, and I'm not sure if it's actually receivership is the same thing as bankruptcy, but it ain't good. It ain't good, right? And I could not help but think, if it's a money thing, if it is the lack of understanding of money, right? Of making sound investments, choosing the right people. Where is the lack there? Where is there a knowledge gap there? You know? What's it called? I just say. Yes, Fawn Weaver. Yes, right? And I thought, where is the lack of knowledge there? Is this a generational behavioral loop? Because there's a lot of people, they'll make a lot of money and they'll lose a lot of money. And it's like a cycle. It's a cycle they get into. And I promise you, it is psychological. It is quite often very much psychological. A person can sabotage themselves, right? Sabotage themselves out of money. Sabotage them. Like I said, I would think about it. It'd be like, I would kind of sabotage, in one sense, Uncle Nearest Premium Whiskey. Thank you. I think on one hand, it's like I would sabotage myself out of my money. It was like, as long as lights, gas, food on the table, all of that was still in place, then anything extra was gone, right? Anything extra was gone. And that is when you're not, when all you're thinking about is survival. That could be, for mom was very much in that survival mindset. When you see that as an example, then that becomes your blueprint, and that's what you move. You move from that blueprint. So, anyways, I was just setting this up. This is what I got, sis. I keep doing that, and I think this is a poorly designed thing. But anyways, do you have one of them? It's where you can add in. It's called a Stream Deck, and I've set it up so StreamYard. I'm running this through StreamYard, but I can trigger it via this little thing. Put the app in there. So that was the whole point of trying this thing. But I got it. I just want to up my game. Got these little microphones some months ago. Just up in the game. Just, I'm serious about what I'm gonna do. What's the name of it? What does it do? So it's called Stream Deck. I'm gonna show you. It's called Stream Deck. So if you want to do, it's basically shortcuts, is how it is. It's like I can click here, and I can do this. I think I'd have to click, because I'm still sorting it out. I think I can click the StreamYard, and I can click the YouTube. I can run it through. I can run it through this machine. So shortcut. I can do Zoom. I can add the Zoom as the app in here. So put apps into this thing. You do that via the website. It's the Elgato, 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 and Stream Deck. Now, they got some other knockoffs, but I have a tendency, I buy cheap, and then it's a mess, and then I wind up buying again. So I bought this one, and I've got it on a 3-month payment plan on Amazon, which is cool. I like to do that. I can just pay it off, and I know I'm paying it off. So I didn't put it on a credit card or anything like that. So, so yeah, so it's gonna. I'll let you know. Yeah, Elgato. It's gonna make it's just gonna make life a little bit faster, a little easier. So say if I said something I wanted to emphasize, I could click the button for sound effects and just go boom, and then you get the sound like canned laughter, blah, blah, blah. Apparently I can mute myself. Apparently I can, get an app where I can screen record. So I'll be learning it over the next week or so, to just days really, to just be able to utilize it. Just, we'll see how it goes. Right? Okay. It is it's about to be 11 o'clock. I'm going to go to bed. I love you loads, and keep showing up, right? Let's keep doing this thing. Let's try to change create new and better habits. I think that's it. Isn't that, isn't that cat in Spanish? Go figure. You and your beautiful cat. Girl, he is right here. That cat is half Sam. I'm sure he's part Siamese because he talks a lot. You saw the other day, he is over here looking over his shoulder. I think he sees a shadow or something. Maybe it's a ghost because he's seriously staring. Oh, you're yawning now. I do not need him talking. See, I woke his butt up. So then he'll go to sleep. Because if I don't, El Gato, oh, right. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes. Oh, it is, isn't it? El Gato the cat. Yes. El Gato is cat in Spanish. Yes, it is. El Gato. I would call him El Gato. But anyways, I'm keeping him awake. And so when I go to bed, in a moment, he'll get his butt to sleep because hey, you're back. Oh well, Synergy's back. I'm about to say goodnight. Yeah, so put him to bed. He'll leave me alone and not wake up at 2 a.m. So I'm fostering a cat, Synergy. Fostering this little fool. He's a sweetie though. He can't help it. He's 8 years old, and his owner was sick apparently. I got him from the SPCA, and it's really nice, the SPCA, because they give you the food. So they're like, oh, you can adopt him. I'm like, I'm not adopting you yet. I'm getting that free cat food, and it's quality. It's quality. It's like science diet and stuff. I'm like, oh no. A few days before you run out, you let them know, and then you just go and pick up the food. I'm like, there you go, El Gato the cat. Get the free food. I get to be the cat mom because I miss my cats. Yep, there you go. Anyways, thank you so much for being here, and I appreciate you. I'll go check out your Headlines with the Voice. You still doing it, aren't you? I haven't checked. You still on there? Let me know. And Synergy, thank you for being here as well. With my sister there. What's she doing? Don't know. I'm gonna end this. Oh yeah, cool. I'll go and check it out. Okay, well, love you and thank you and for helping me figure this out. I love the little flashy thing that says like and subscribe. So please like and subscribe. Anyways, I'm out. Thank you. I would check out your book. Awesome. That's awesome. And if you see me live here or just come to my channel, please do. I need one more subscriber. I'll hit 2,200 subscribers. Yes. We get about 3,000 hours of viewing time to get to. We will do it. Okay, I'm out. Bye. I'm going to end the stream.